Happy spring. It's time to plant a fresh crop. Record Journal Athletes of the Week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Merited Record Journal. Welcome to the Week 4 edition of Spring Record Journal Athletes of the Week. And as you can see, we're out in the great outdoors. We're no longer in the coffee shop. I can scream to the high heavens and not worry about disturbing my neighbors. Unless my neighbor George pops out. He's a good guy. Maybe we'll get a little guest appearance from my neighbor George. In the meantime, we're going to get after it here in Week 4. You saw our winners, both track kids, from Sheehan High School, Miss Maddie DePasquale, and from Lyman Hall, Max Fuller. And we're getting to the postseason time in track. Looking forward to seeing what those guys and their teams can do, because both, as you will recall, were on Class M state champions in the indoor season. Postseason coming up very, very quickly. In the meantime, we got a couple weeks left in the regular season. And as you can see, we got the lilacs in bloom here. Aaron, when the lilacs last bloomed, the Red Sox were a much better baseball team, but that is neither here nor there, for they are not candidates for Record Journal Athletes of the Week here in Week 4. We'd be hard-pressed to pick anyone from that team. But we are not hard-pressed to pick amongst the locals. We got a good crop of boys. We got 3 softball players amongst the girls, and let's get right after it with the boys. Over on the baseball diamond, hottest team going in our area, of course, Southington Blue Knights. They are 12-2. They have won 8 games in a row going into today's game with Conard. It's Wednesday, as you've quickly and quietly deduced at home. And one of the guys making things go for the Blue Knights, well, actually a lot of guys are making things go for the Blue Knights, but we're going with this young man right here, sophomore, Mr. Frankie Patel, Frankie B. Hey, you know, he started the season on JV, but was called up, and a great move, because since he's been called up, Frankie's batting .476 with 11 ribbies, and Saturday night against Notre Dame, 2 home runs for Frank, and then on Monday against New Britain, 2 doubles. Looking forward to seeing what those Southington Blue Knights do. They are number 4 in Class Double L here on Wednesday, trailing only Amity, Fairfield, Ward, and Ridgefield. Southington Blue Knights, always a contender, always got a nice pipeline of talent, and here comes a young man right now. Frankie Buteau, boys nominee number 1 here in Week 4. Second nominee from boys volleyball. You know, it was a team that was hot to start the month of May. Yes, Maloney Volleyball. 4 wins in a row, first week of May. Boom, boom, boom. And a guy who was the engine there right here, senior, Mr. Dev Patel. 4 wins. He had double-doubles in each, or 3 of the 4. Correct me. I'll stand corrected. Dev Patel, double-doubles, 3 of the 4 wins for Maloney, including 14 kills, 14 digs against Wolcott Tech. And Dev leads the Spartans in aces, leads them in digs, and he's second in kills, second only to teammate Adnell Torres. And I got to say, Adnell, if you're watching, you and Dev, you know, you got right up on the radar screen. You guys are winning 4 matches in a row, and both Dev and Adnell are putting up big numbers. I'm like, who are we going to go with here? It was almost to the point where I was going to flip a coin. They're both seniors, both putting up big numbers. I said, you know what? I'm going to go with Dev, but message for Adnell, and that is keep after it, Adnell. Keep playing well, because you'll be right here yourself. We got a couple weeks to go. Love to be able to nominate you as well. For now, we are going with the man, Dev Patel, Maloney Boys Volleyball, boys nominee number 2 in Week 4. Third and final nominee, another good team, another team to watch in the postseason. Most definitely, they are Cheshire Boys Lacrosse 10-2 team. Have only lost to LaSalle Academy of Rhode Island back on opening day, and a 1-goal game to Fairfield Prep. Rams, though, tell you, Class M, ranked number 2. Watch for them in June. Aaron, I just mark it on your calendar, man. Championship Saturday. I just got a feeling, because the Rams are a good team, led in part by junior attack, Mr. Charles Kurtz. He was their leading scorer last year, leading scorer again this year with 47 goals, 73 points. He had 4 goals in Monday's win against Guilford. Had a 10-point game earlier this year against Southington, 11-point game against Notre Dame. Charles makes it go. He's got a lot of good teammates around him, too. That's another team that's truly a gold mine for Athlete of the Week candidates. Charles Kurtz, you're our man here in Week 4. You are boys nominee number 3. Okay, Aaron, we're going to move over to the girls, my man. Little coffee break. I got to tell you, Aaron, I kind of missed the purgatory stuff. That cold brew was good, but the home brew is working just fine as well. Remind me to brew you one when the show is over. Right now, we got to get to the girls' candidates. As we mentioned, they are all softball players, and Aaron, as usual, we've got good softball teams. And again, we got Southington Blue Knights. They lost to Massac yesterday in a game against reigning state champions. But watch for the Blue Knights to make noise. Watch for all of our teams to make noise. And in fact, we have 3 teams represented, and none of them are named the Southington Blue Knights. Where are we going to start, Aaron? Let's start down at Sheehan High School. Good rivalry game last week at Pragaman Field. Aaron, you were there. It was a cold, shivery night. Every night last week was cold and shivery. But I'll tell you who made the Titan hearts glow with warmth. Right here, Miss Danielle Geary, senior first baseman. Sheehan was building on a lead in the 6th inning. She comes up. Boom! Deep to center field. Gone with the bases loaded. Grand slam for Miss Geary. And I'll tell you what, man, the Sheehan Titans, they needed it because the Trojans battled back in the top of the 7th, close to within 2. So if Miss Geary didn't go yard with the bases juiced, Lyman Hall would have won. Danielle Geary, congratulations. You had the game-winning blast for the Lady Titans. Good luck today against Laurelton Hall. For now, you are girls nominee number 1. Second nominee, she's from Meriden. She resides over at Wilcox Tech. She is pitcher, Miss Chloe Enger. We introduced to you Miss Chloe Enger, who's introducing herself to the Connecticut Technical Conference. Get this, against Wilcox Tech, 19 strikeouts in a 5-3 victory, with the last strikeout coming with the bases loaded. Next game, Caner Tech, 20 strikeouts for Chloe. So this, Aaron, is a perfect opportunity for some Major League Baseball trivia, because what would this show be without Major League Baseball trivia? 19 strikeouts in a game. How many times has it happened in Major League Baseball history? Yes, you are right, 8 times. Done twice by Mr. Randy Johnson when he was with the Seattle Mariners. The record, of course, is 20. Done 4 times, twice by the Rocket Man, Roger Clemens, when he was with the Boston Red Sox, Aaron. Sorry, bro. Not the Yanks, not the Jays, when he was with the Red Sox. And, of course, was also done by Max Scherzer, which makes me realize and remember that I want to predict the Mets are going to win the World Series. And I'm not just saying that because I like Maloney softball coach Scott Oresco. Watch for Scherzer and the Mets to win the series. Scherzer had 20 strikeouts when he was with the Nationals back in 2016. And the other guy to strike out 20, of course, Mr. Kerry Wood, 1998. He was just 20 years old, 1 hitter, 20 strikeouts. You remember that game, Aaron? I do, because I'm very old and I've got all this crazy, insane knowledge in my head. But Chloe Enger's performances reminded me of those games. She's only a freshman. She's a rookie. Miss Carrie Wood of the block this year? Maybe so. She is girls nominee number 2. And our third and final nominee, mentioned Maloney coach Scott Oresco, a very devoted Mets fan and Jets fan, and hopefully he gets his due this year. His softball team's playing pretty well. They are 10-5, and a lot of good players on the team. They can really pound the ball, especially the top of the order. The girl we're going with this week, she's also the pitcher. She is Miss Isabella Smith. And here's the deal with Isabella. She leads the team in hitting at .531. On-base percentage, .603. Also a team high, 10 doubles. That's a team high, 19 ribbies, second best on the team. To Morgan Pelletier's 230. I think Morgan is up to by now. We're going with Isabel, though, and here's why. Not only is she a good hitter, but she's really shouldered the load as a pitcher. Going into the season, Maloney really didn't have a pitcher in the pipeline. And Isabel essentially just volunteered and said, I'll pitch. And it's been, she doesn't have a background as a pitcher, but she took on the challenge. And, hey, she and the Spartans are 10-5 going into today's game over in Plainville. Miss Smith, for being a team player, and a very good one, you are girls nominee number 3 here in week 4. And on that note, I'm going to put the coffee away because clearly I've already drank too much this morning. The rambling on will cease here. It is time to go vote. It's Wednesday, about 6 o'clock. You have to midnight Sunday to vote. Hey, Aaron, you saw our totals this week. It was really good. Miss DePasquale won, but the other girls' nominees were right there, too. That was a real good, close race. Really good to see. So go on. Do what you've been doing. We got a couple more weeks in the contest. myrecordjournal.com/athletes will bring you the winners next week and a fresh slate of candidates. Until then, Aaron, isn't it a beautiful thing that it's nice? I feel like I can feel myself tanning here as we speak. I don't know if I should pour coffee on myself to facilitate the tanning process, but I can feel the warmth of the sun upon me, and hopefully so can you. I appreciate you tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record-Journal. My best, as always, to my man, Aaron Flom, Shawnee the Kid Krofsick. Keep watching, keep reading, keep tuning in. We'll catch you later. Be good.